Hi, my loves. Welcome back to another episode of The Rosey Life. So today I want to talk to you about affirmations. And this video is for all of you who doubt affirmations work, or that you feel like it's a waste of time, or if you're wondering if they work, or anything that you want to know about affirmations. We're going to nail it in this video, okay? I want you guys to be squeaky, clean, and clear about what affirmations are. And the best part I'm going to add in this, I have a weird and funny story, success story of my own that I manifested using affirmations. And the funny thing is that those affirmations, they're still unfolding and they're still playing out with that same situation. And trust me, you guys want to hear this because it is funny, wild, and crazy, okay? So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, and my name is Rose. I am a success and confidence coach, and I love to help people get out of their own way and have freaking breakthroughs so that they can have whatever the hell they want. Breakthroughs of the mind, okay? That's what we want. That is what my intention is. I want all of you to have breakthroughs of the mind, of all those limitations, old stories, old programming of beliefs, or whatever you have that you think are in the way. I am here to help you terminate them, okay? So if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, you can go to TheRoseyLife.com, or if you would like to do a self-paced course, I do have a makeover your self concept, and it lasts about 30 days, and you get little videos and email with homework and things that I want you to do to focus on you, because I cannot tell you enough the value of being consistent and persistent and determined and focused on what it is that you want, but in a way that is not forceful, in a way that is not controlling or frustrating and leaves you crying with angry tears, okay? So that is what the self-concept course does. It focuses on the main areas of pretty much everyone's life, and it goes into detail, and I have you do things, not just read something, but I have you actually do things in that course that shift your mindset. And you can do it once, and you can keep repeating those 30 days over and over. I don't care how many times you repeat that damn thing, do it. You are worth it. You are worth it. Do not ever give up on yourself. Ever, 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 never, okay? All right, so let's get into affirmations. So I went through a period of affirmations that when I first learned affirmations, that I was just saying these words: I love myself, right? I like myself. I'm amazing. All these words, right? Where I would say them over and over again, and I actually noticed that I felt different, and I noticed that people responded to me differently, right? However, I still wasn't getting what I wanted. And I'm like, what the hell? So I dropped the phase of affirmations, and then I started studying law of assumption. And I started studying more law of assumption because I was studying Louise Hayes and Wayne Dyer and law of attraction and those kind of things. And this was years ago. And then I started studying law of assumption. And then I thought, oh, wow, okay, this doesn't have this affirmation thing going on in it. This is just changing my beliefs, changing my assumptions about things, right? And for whatever reason at the beginning, that felt just so hard. It felt so difficult, like I didn't get it, and I couldn't understand it, wouldn't click, like people say, right? But the more that I started diving into applying it, okay, and literally, I was just listening to an avocado lecture about be doers, not just hearers of the word. And I have heard that for so long, even before, like growing up as a Christian in church, I heard that so many years. I'm like, I don't know what the hell it meant. Be doers. It meant, oh, okay, go get a job, go make things happen, go make your list, go make it happen, right? Be doers. That's what I thought that meant, right? Not just hearers. No, the doing, there's only one doing, people. There's only one doing. When Neville says be doers, not hearers of the word, what he's saying is be doers, like change your focus right? Change whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're imagining about. Don't get caught up on the freaking words. Imagination are your thoughts. It's the same freaking thing. And if you want to fight and argue about that, go ahead, go do it somewhere else. I don't care. I like results. I don't get caught up on labels and definitions. I want results. That's what I care about. Okay, so you change this, what you're focused on, what you're determined to focus on, okay? And you sustain it by persisting in choosing that specific focus. And when you do that, you see results, okay? However, moving along into the affirmation thing, I'm like, well, if I say something, I'm watching it manifest. Like if I affirm something, if I intend something, if I just say something, and I eliminate all these rules of, oh, you can't say want, you can't say, you have to say I have, you can't say I hope, right? No, it doesn't matter what words you say. You just need to understand that you're using affirmations as a technique to actually manifest things. So you don't just have to sit there in a chair or lie on a bed or stare at the sunshine and use your imagination. You don't have to purposely manifest that way. That is one way. That is Neville Goddard's way, okay? You can do that and it works, all right? We're not here saying it doesn't work, because it works, right? But just like you use your imagination and you imagine things, you can also just affirm things, because that works too. The reason all of these styles and techniques from all of these teachers work is because it's coming from one source, one power, one infinite intelligence, God, I am, the universal force, whatever the hell you want to call it, kitty cat power, I don't care, okay? Whatever you want to call it, it's coming from the one source. And we are all connected to that one source. And whatever you tell the source that it works, the source says, yes, okay, it works. So whatever technique you want to use. So affirmations, though, are literally anything you think in your mind, anything you speak from your mind, from your mouth rather. Everything that I'm saying right now are affirmations, by the way, okay? Everything that I'm saying is an affirmation. When you speak to someone in person, when you talk to yourself out loud, walking around the house or down the street, when you have an inner conversation with your boss or your partner or your kid or your neighbor, right? Like if someone's making noise upstairs, like one day I was listening to someone had really loud music on in this new place that I moved in, and I could hear the music and I didn't know where it was coming from. And I laid there in bed and I noticed that I was having an inner conversation, meaning I was arguing with whoever was playing this music, and I was just like, what the hell? Stop. This is ridiculous. Where is this coming from? This person, who the hell do these people think they are? They're inconsiderate. And I'm like, oh, hold the phone. No. All I said is like, this music is to stop right now. I don't want to hear this music anymore. Enough, cut it off. Okay. And then a little while later, just like literally within a few minutes, the music stopped. Like, boom, done. Okay. And then the person, whoever that was, I started hearing like a radio talk show or newscasting. It wasn't music, it was that. And I'm like, okay, no. Let me get even clearer. I don't want to hear any sound coming from that person's place, wherever they are. All sound, cut it off. Either they need to cut it off or they need to move, because this isn't going to work for me. And that's literally what I did. And that too, all the sound from that radio or news channel or whatever, that cut off too. And then later on that day, I was sitting on my back porch and I literally saw people moving out of a place, and I started laughing. I was like, so this is not my success story, by the way. Wait till you guys hear it. That's coming. So I wanted to make it really clear, because people think affirmations was just something that you write, like, I am rich, I am pretty, I am confident, I am secure. Okay, those are affirmations too, but that's not it. It's what you're affirming all day freaking long is what you have in your inner conversation, what you're thinking, what you walk around. It's the shit on autopilot that keeps playing over and over that you are not becoming aware of yet. But this video is going to help you become aware of it because I said so. And all that autopilot, all that background thinking, that is also affirmation. So you can intend or affirm for something like 1,000 times a day, but if you got this autopilot thing going on and it's going and going and going all day long, that wins because it's dominant. It's what you really mostly spend your focus on. It is what you keep selecting, not on purpose, but it's in there. So you want to become aware of what you're thinking, okay? Awareness is like the first key. I just wrapped up my Confident Coach program, and yay, shout out to the people in that just graduated because they're badass coaches now. Watch out. I'm going to be posting their information on Instagram when they send me their pictures and their bios. Watch out. And I know they're going to be offering good rates because they're just getting started. So look out for that. But anyway, your thoughts, like you want to become aware of what you are thinking. You want to become aware of what you're thinking, okay? And I think I'm going to do a series on the different steps that I do with all my clients, and I think I am going to do that. I'm going to follow up with this, but I want to do a series on the steps that I use with all of my clients, and they all have success, okay? So I think I'm going to do I'm going to break it up into different videos so that you guys, I'm giving you everything that I teach my clients. I am sharing with you all the information that I work with on my one-on-one clients and my group programs. I am literally, all these videos, I am telling you what I help my clients with, and it works. It works, okay? So, but back to affirmations for this video so I can get focused here again, right? The affirmations, anything you're thinking, anything you're saying, anything you write, anything you text to another person, anything you email. Does this mean you have to be freaking paranoid about everything you think and say and do? No, because there's a lot of thoughts that you want to keep, like I love cheese and bacon on my burger. I don't want that to go away, so I'm not going to focus on changing it, right? I love sunshine, I love rain, I love snow, I love the fall. I don't want those thoughts to go away, so I'm not going to focus on those. So what am I going to focus on? What am I going to become aware of? I'm going to become aware of the thoughts that make me feel like shit. The ones where I feel like someone else has more power over me. I don't like that thought. So how can I change it? Remind myself that I'm the one with the power in my reality. I'm the one that calls the shots. I'm the one that decides how everyone treats me. No one gets to decide. No one has free will. No one gets to decide how they treat me. I decide. I decide this thing. So then I choose how I want to be treated. Do you see that shifts the power and puts me back into receiving? Okay, so that's what you want to do for awareness, okay, of the thoughts. But the affirmations, remember, if you write it, if you say it, if you email it, if you speak it, whatever you do, it's an affirmation. So don't get caught up in that you sound like a parrot and that this teacher said that you don't have to do that and that teacher said that you have to do it and you have to do it 159 times, otherwise it doesn't work, and you have to do this and you have to. That's all bullshit. Those are all rules that they made up and that they heard some other person say, because literally everything that they say out of their mouth, even those people that are saying that affirmations don't work, then they don't work for them. Hello. So then they have evidence and proof that they don't work for them. Okay. So now let me show you affirmations. All right. I love affirmations, and I like writing affirmations out in a way that I would think them. So if that involves cussing, then I use cussing, okay? So if that involves, but if I'm not going to use words that my mind already is not familiar with, like I'm a California girl, so I'm going to have the Cali vibe when I speak and talk and think, okay? And I might be throwing in my Chicago because that's where I live and that's my home. That's Chicago people. Love you. You guys are my jam. So I'm going to write affirmations in the way that I think already, not in a way that sounds holy, spiritual, divine, and because some teacher or book said that that's how you should. So people give you examples. And for example, if you say, I love myself, I like, for example, that's a great affirmation, right? I love myself, right? If that feels good to you, then do it. If it feels weird to you because you're not used to loving yourself, that's okay. Just keep doing it. But if you wouldn't talk like that, right? You can say just like, damn, I fucking love myself. That sounds like me. That sounds like Rose. Okay, so I would write it out. Damn, I fucking love myself. I love that I'm learning how to love myself more and more every day. That's Rose too. Do you see? So you want to take whatever it is your end goal is if it's loving yourself, then you want to spin it around and write it in a way that you would say it to yourself, or that you would say it to your friend, okay, or your partner or sister or brother or dad or whoever, okay? So that's one thing. And the other thing, how many times you say it, however you want. There's no rule. There's no rule on how many times you have to say it. Okay, if you are a person that does not love yourself and you don't like yourself and you don't know what the hell that means and how to do it, you don't have to know how it happens. You don't have to know how you end up loving yourself. You don't have to know any steps. There's no sequence. There's no nothing. No, you just have to keep focused and choosing and determined focus, choosing that idea, that state, that way of being, that way of feeling, that way of thinking. And how do you do it? You're just like, you know what? I don't know how the hell I'm going to love myself, but I'm going to fucking love myself. I'm going to love myself like no one has ever loved me. I'm going to love myself so freaking much. It's going to shine from me. That's how I want to be when I'm loving myself. And this is happening now. This is happening right now because everything is always happening now. There is no yesterday or tomorrow. There's only now. Okay? Facts. There's only now. So I want to get to my story now. So I was listening to a affirmation meditation, and in the affirmation meditation, it said, I am always something like I'm always chased by men, or men chase me, and men chase me, or men prioritize me, something like that. And I was listening to it just once, okay? And when I heard it, I repeated it, because that's what we do. When you watch TV, by the way, anything you're watching on TV, any song you're listening to, when you read it, you have to repeat it in your mind, because that's what the mind does. It hears it, sees it, and it repeats it, okay? It's an automatic brain feature that we all have. You cannot turn it off. So when you hear something, you're automatically repeating it. So if you hear something you don't like, you're like, yeah, I don't accept that. Actually, that's not true for me. What's true for me is this. If someone says something negative or complaining, you're like, in your mind, you're like, yeah, I don't accept that. That's not true for me. What's true for me is this. Keep it going, okay? So I heard that meditation, and it said, like, people or men chase me or men pursue me. And I heard that, and I obviously repeated it in my mind. And a little while later, I was giggling because I remembered what the meditation said, and I was giggling about it, okay? So next day, I go out into the city, and I'm out in the city, and I kid you not. Oh, and another one was, I am easily committed to, okay? So I'm out on walking down in the city, okay? And some guy stops me and asks me to sign a petition for some music thing. And the person says, as I'm signing their petition, he says to me, by the way, do you have a boyfriend? Because if you don't, I want to be your boyfriend and I will never cheat on you. And I looked at him, and I started laughing, not at him, but laughing because I knew what was happening, okay? Then like an hour later, I'm walking on another street, and some guy also stops me, and he says, damn, if only I could have you. And then I get on a train to come home. I'm on a platform, and waiting for the next train, and some guy is following me on the platform, but it was like kind of creepy, all right? And I was like, why is this person following me? So I like casually moved over because there was a lot of people. So there's a lot of places that I could be around people. So I just moved. He followed me. I moved again. He followed me again. Then I was like, okay, now I'm feeling a little creeped out. Okay. So then I moved again and I sandwiched myself in the middle of all these different people around me. And there was just a wall behind me and then these other people around me, but he moved and squeezed himself in there too. Like there's literally no place for this person to do it, and he found a way. People moved out of the way to let him in. And I was like, okay, what the hell do I have to do to make this person go away? Is what I asked myself. And then in that instant, this woman standing in front of me turned around, and she was even wearing a mask, so I couldn't even see her face. She turned around and started talking to me as if she knew me. I've never seen this person in my life. She's like, oh my God, I didn't recognize you. How are you? I didn't even see you walk up behind me. She's like, what are you doing? How are things going? And I instantly understood what she was doing. And I started talking with her as well as if I knew her. And then she even looked at that person, that guy, and said, can I help you? And he's like, yeah, I just want to hang out with you guys. And she's like, no, thank you. She's like, you can go away now. And he didn't go away. So we ended up going down to where the tickets are and to talk to an employee that was in a booth. And she asked if we wanted the cops to be called. And I said yes. And so we stood there, and that guy didn't budge. He literally stayed there the entire time. And at some points he would walk away just for a minute, and then the girl that was with me, she was like, hi, she's like, I just, my name is so-and-so, and I just, I didn't want to leave you alone, and it looks like you needed help. And I was like, oh my God, my name is Rose, thank you so much, you are so freaking awesome, you are my Shiro today, Wonder Woman. And she was like, oh my God, I would totally want someone to do it for me too. And she ended up staying with me for like 45 minutes, and this guy finally went away, because in my mind I said, wait, hold on. I was like, okay, no, you gotta go. You go. And he left. He literally left and went to the opposite side of the train tracks and disappeared. And then this other girl that I had just met, the cops never showed up, by the way, but who cares? Because I didn't need them, because I took care of it. So we went into the train, and I went home, and on the way there, I said to this girl, I said, I owe you a drink, girl, big time. And she's like, oh my God, that's so sweet. You don't, but thank you. She says, I'll take you up on it. So we ended up exchanging phone numbers. And I actually went out and had a drink with her the other night, and she is so freaking cool. She's really amazing. And what was cool about meeting her up for a drink is I was like, okay, these are the things that I have to tell you, okay? Because the things that are still unfolding from that meet are so cool because they're still unfolding. But here are the things that I was affirming before, okay? Rewind. How did this happen? Okay, I have a belief that everyone is on my side. Everyone goes out of their way to do nice things for me. That is the belief that I have, okay? Because it's something that I just say throughout whenever I want to, okay? Whenever I want to. There's no time and how many times I do it, okay? I just have that belief because I say that out loud, right? The other thing is that when I was laying in bed that night, when I came home from the train, I laid there in bed, and out of nowhere, I started laughing so hard because I remembered giggling and hearing the affirmation that men pursue me, men chase me, men commit to me, okay? And I was laughing because I remembered having that reaction to those affirmations, and a day later, I experienced those, okay? So I was just like, girl, you need to revise those affirmations. I'm not listening to that freaking meditation anymore, because clearly my higher self is literal, and I'm just like, okay, let me change that. I'll be listening to something else. But anyway, so I thought it was so, it was a little creepy, and at the same time, it was really cool because I didn't only have one affirmation that I had just said, but I had another affirmation also show up with this person, right, at the same time. So I had all of these different affirmations manifesting and coming together at once, and they were, in my mind, unrelated. Okay, so the other thing too is that I make friends easy, and I make amazing like-minded friends, and it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. Those are all bullshit stories that I notice a lot of people make. Younger and older people make these, that, oh, it's the city, oh, it's because of where I live, oh, it's because of how old I am, or it's because there's no one in common. Bullshit, all bullshit, right? I have a belief that I make friends really easy, like-minded friends. And this person that I met, she is so amazing. She's so sweet, she's funny, talk about funny. I ended up getting to know her when I went and had drinks with her. And it turns out, like, I asked her a couple of questions, and it just, like, she told me that she had been trying to figure out a way to get herself motivated to go do comedy stand-up again, because that is her dream, to be a comedian. But she's doing something completely different as a career right now. And I just asked her, why are you doing that and not that? And she, like, looked at me like a little lost, like no one had ever asked her that question. And she said, I had just been thinking about how she's like, I want to figure out a way to do this. And when I met her and we started talking about this, I shared with her a couple of stand-up comedy places that she could go to just to start practicing and start pursuing that, start putting her focus on it, right? And she was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. I'm so happy that I met you. And she is like the funnest and sweetest person ever. And I'm like, this is freaking amazing. Okay, so affirmations, hello. I know that I changed your mind about affirmations, because they freaking work, okay? Some of those things I had never written down. Some of those things I had only thought of. Some of those things I said out loud, okay? I didn't spend any freaking time laying around trying to get into sats, trying to figure out how to feel this real and all that bullshit. No, all of that works, okay? It's not bullshit. It all works, but I am so tired of hearing people say that if you don't do it this way, it's not going to work, because it all freaking works. The only thing that works is you. You're the power. You're the reason why it works. You are the power, and you are the reason why everything you decide works. Okay? Everything. My newest affirmation that I've been playing around with lately is because I've always told myself, when I know what I want, I make it happen. And I say that with conviction. But what happens when you don't know what you want? Here's what you do. I know what I want, and I make it happen. And since I always know what I want, I'm always making shit happen. Bingo. I love you guys, and I cannot wait for you to have results and share them. So like and comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.